Okay, in this video we're going to take a look at the near critical activity filter. Now the purpose of the near critical activity filter is to quickly see what critical items or even non-critical items are occurring in the near future. This current filter is set up for 4 weeks, in the next 4 weeks. Another purpose is to reduce the amount of activities to review so you can stay focused on your critical or non-critical activities that have 10 days afloat or less. So in this example, my project's nearing completion, so there's not a whole lot on this one, but let's just take a look at it. So if we were to try to print this schedule out, it's about 1 page on an 11 by 17. There's probably about a little less than 40 items on here. And so what we would use this item to is to take a look at what's going to be happening in the next 4 weeks that's going to have float of 10 days or less. So let's close out of that. Now let me show you how do we get there. The first thing that we need to do is for filter, as you can see up here on the filter, right now my filter is running incomplete activities. If you click on that, nothing happens. How we get to there is the filter item. It's this right here, that filter button. So you click on that, or you can come up here to the view, click on view, and then scroll down to filters and click on that. And so there you go. And what we're looking at for is in the global, we'll see incomplete activities. That's the filter that I'm running right now. Let's go ahead and uncheck that. And the near critical now, this is the one that we're talking about. So let's just check it and take a look at what it's going to do for us. Click OK. And now let's just take a look at what it's reduced everything to. So we went from about 40 items to about 10 items or less. So if you have a very large schedule, you could see what this could do for you. So how can we make this to where we can modify it if we need to? So let's go back up to our filters. Go into our filters and it's selected. The near critical now is selected. But if you'll notice, since it's under global, the modify is grayed out. We can't do anything with this one. So what we need to do is get that near critical now from the global down into our user defined. If you look down here, I do not have it. It's very, very simple. Just make sure that it's selected, click copy, and then paste, and it puts it right down in your user defined automatically. It's that easy. Now the next thing that we want to do is let's take a look at it. What's under the hood on this thing? So we'll go ahead and click the modify, and what it's doing is it's looking for total float that is less than or equal to 10 days. So basically 10 days or less. If it has float of 10 days or less, that's what it's looking for. And then some other parameters that it's looking for is, has that activity already started? Is it in progress? Or is it starting within a date range? So that date range is going to be your day-to-date or the next 4 weeks, your day-to-date plus 4 weeks. So basically anything with that has already started or that's going to start within the next 4 weeks that has 10 days afloat or less is going to be filtered. Now one thing to note about this, the reason that we need to be able to modify this is say you have a schedule that has, let's just say 50 days afloat in a lot of your activities. And so if it's filtering for 10 days or less, you may be missing out on some really important information that could be happening in your schedule. So if you have say 50 days afloat on most of your items, you may want to change this to 40 days. So it's still looking for like that 10-day differential between the two, but that is one thing. Oops, let's get rid of that. Yeah. So on that one, you may want to look at the 40 days for that particular example. So that's why we need to know how this thing is working. Let's go ahead and change it back to 10. And there we go. Sometimes you hit it enter too often. Okay, so there we go. That's how it's working. So one of the things that we need to focus on is if you're updating your schedule once a month, you're doing yourself a disservice. Especially a nice thing about using this near critical activity filter, this is going to zero in. You and your superintendent can zero in on the activities that you really need to focus on. I would suggest doing this once a week, updating your schedule once a week to run this filter, or at a minimum every 2 weeks, so you can make sure that you're staying on top of your schedule, that you're using your schedule as a tool to make sure that the things in the field are going the way that they need to be going, and not just using your schedule as a reporting tool of what's happening, that you can use it for steering the people out in the field on what they need to be doing. So that's how the near critical activity filter can help you.